Welcome to the finale. Here we are. Day 41. Clip 40. Wrapping up. The final shebang. It all comes down to this. Now, I decided to make this one a half hour rather than just go to the boss fight because there's still things to cover. I got bits of knowledge, bits of information, bits of tips, and bits of tricks, and bits of bites, and you get the picture. So, as we come up to the mountain here, I wanted to try my best to showcase the size of the cars and the gigas against the tech door. Now, technically I could force tame one of these things and just lead it over there, but that would take entering admin commands and then looking them up, and just trying to cut corners where I can cut corners. So here we are, looking at three ugly dandies here. Now this might take a minute. Could prove to be really tricky here. What, no one wants to fight? Come on. See you. Let's go. Come on. Over here. One thing I will say about the volcano situation being jacked up for spawn points is free, well, not free, but easy potential for a Giga Heart. And you do get a Giga Heart from killing cars as well. They kind of serve twofold on that. But okay, there we go. Took a little pistol shooting to get your attention, I see. Oh, and you brought your friend over. So I'm trying to get a good angle here. Basically, if you've ever seen one of these things up close, you've had the luxury of taming them, or you put it in the admin command to tame and ride one. You know how they measure up to a Spino. It's noticeably larger, like extensively, noticeably larger. Don't you go dying on me before I do what I set out to do. Come on, get in there. Let's go. It's kinda... Let's see if I can go into... No, don't move. Okay, well, let's see. Pull you back in now. Come on, over here. Hello, I'm looking at you. You see me now? Yeah, you do. Ooh, almost got a bite on me. Okay, quick like a bunny. There you go. You got you can kinda see, kinda make it out. No, but you're just not cooperating. Look, I'm trying to prove a point, damn it. Get lucky and get the kill on it, get some XP. Oh. Okay. Haha. Sneak attack. I did the old wrap around. And I'm not sure how much fire damage lava actually inflicts. Maybe it works like Dragon Breath, and that it's 25% over time. That'd be interesting. I guess you could only really tell with tech binoculars. Oh, I'm getting some clouds now. You're close, I feel it. I feel it. Oh. Well, we kind of got a good angle, but you see it folded up here against the door. I don't know. Use your imagination, because I didn't do a very good job of putting it in a good spot to show you. But let's get some free gigahertz here. I'm sure I can reach the car's body as well. Yes, I can. Thank you. Granted, I won't need them, but it's just to show you another neat little trick. Oh, hold the phone. That's free meat. I'm gonna need meat. So, correction on an earlier statement that I made about Spinos. So, I have not been shy in saying that it has been a hot minute since I've really put any effort into playing Ark. And my original statement for not using Spinos for boss fights is that their saddles were expensive, and then once I crafted mine for the Spino I tamed from Wild, level 90, I realized they aren't that expensive. But what I remembered is that it's far more common to find Rex saddle blueprints than it is Spino saddle blueprints. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why it's harder to use Spinos for boss fights. That, and obviously the Tech Cave fiasco of them not being able to walk through the entrance unless an update fixed something, which I highly doubt it. So yeah, I just wanted to clear the air on that. Spino saddles are cheap, inexpensive when compared to Rex saddles. However, it's very rare to find Spino blueprints. Spino saddle blueprints. Wow, look at that. I actually forced a spawn outside of the volcano from that. Okay. So I got everybody staged. If you watch my last clip, which was theoretically the final day in Ark, although I did say I technically have until midnight on the 21st day, or sorry, midnight on the 41st day, because that would account for 40 days counting day 1. Day 1 into day 2, I should say. But I made the mistake of forgetting that I'm on single player and you can't access any boss from any obelisk, so I had to cut the recording and use the fly and ghost command and save everyone a painful, unenjoyable experience of just watching me cryo, fly from green to blue, uncryo, put the meat and the berries back in every dino, and then rinse and repeat. So all that took place outside of recording, and now I'm kind of just showing you, picking it back up where I otherwise would have been originally if I had done this at the blue ob instead of doing it at the green ob. So I did stop back at home and grab all the meat that I had, including the cooked meat that was in my preserving bin, because this is it. This is for all the chips. This is the big finale, the shebang. Shebang. So we'll give the cooked meat, and I actually like that they give you, I won't say I like to the extent of which items appear in drops. The frequency and the frequency of more uncommon things. However, I am a fan of it at the same time. So, contradictory? I don't know. All I'm trying to say is jerky is great for keeping and feeding troughs for official servers. And the reason for that is their spoil time is far superior to that of cooked meat, and I mean, obviously if you don't have the tech feeding trough unlocked, it's a smooth workaround for not always having to be mindful of coming back onto the server to make sure that your meat is in tip-top shape. I don't know if there's an alternative to berries, although berries are in stacks of 100, so they technically last 2.5 times longer than cooked. Well, 2 times longer than cooked meat, which rarely people do for their feeding troughs, and 2.5 times longer than raw meat. Um, so yeah, just a neat little thing there, and I'm not sure how much food they actually provide, because if you didn't know, whatever food has the lowest quality, meaning it provides the least amount of satiation of filling the hunger, the food bar, okay? That's the meat that the programming, the code, whatever has it designed that meat eaters will go to first. That's why you can never have your fish eaters in the same feeding trough as every other meat eater, because the fish meat goes so quickly because it does such little for the food stat that everyone eats it faster than your fish eaters need it, like the Pelagornis, or not the I think Pelagornis, the Itchy, the Shithawk, and the Otter, and there's a few others, but all that to say, like, if you put fish meat, raw meat, cooked fish meat, and cooked meat all in the same feeding trough, or rather, let's put it this way: if you put one stack of each in a meat-eating dino, and you just went on a running frenzy and used up a bunch of stamina, and your dino got hungry as a result, it would eat the fish meat first because that has the lowest value, and then it would go up the ranks from there depending on how much food that it satiates. So I'm just loading back in here because I need that pack leader symbol for Viola, because I'm really counting on my raptors to do a good chunk of damage before they bite the dust. And that is the way to fix that, which is nice because I don't think ASE had that, where you could just, well, I know ASE didn't have the quick load times. That much I can say with confidence. But I don't think you could just load or save and exit and then load back in and have certain issues sort themselves out. But ASA seems to work somewhat like that. Like, you can do, if clouds are rolling in and clouding your view and you're on single player, you can save and exit and come back in, and the clouds will be redistributed throughout the sky, so chances are you will have loaded into the same spot without a cloud there. Now, let's see, just getting all the meat set up in all of these. My suspicion is the Yeti is going to be the first to go, just because that typically seems to be the natural order of things. But I'm not sure what's going to take place outside of that. And I want to say I put the veggie cake in the stego when it was taming. So it must have eaten it when it was fighting that Therizino, which probably saved its life, so I can't be too upset with that. Although it would have been nice to have that little ace up my sleeve. Auto stack is not working. Why you full of bugs, bug? Ark. There we go. So with the rare flowers, not sure if it'll work, but my plan is to try to pull the attention of all the ads that Kong spawns in Since they technically don't do crazy amounts of damage, I should be able to withstand their attacks for quite a while on the Stego in heavy plate mode or defense mode, whatever you want to call it. But it's my first time trying it, so we'll see what comes of it. But I got everything I need to combat the cold, and yeah, shotgun. Got all my consumables there. Got the beer as a last resort. The tricky thing with beer is it drains your stamina, and it keeps the stamina depleted. So it slowly drains it, and then as long as the beer effect is still active, you will not regain any stamina. So, and it clouds your vision. So there is that. But yeah. Everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. I got the pistol, shotgun, bow's not really enough. Here's the thing. I'm not expecting to beat this. Okay, I'm not expecting to kill Kong. I just want to know what a hodgepodge of dinos looks like against Kong. So, let's... Wait, what? Oh, Miami. Okay. So I did find this drop. I cut the clip and did a whole fast travel thing to go and swap out for the right artifact because the immune looks the same as the brute. I don't know, sue me. So, wee bit more cheating, wee bit of cheating, but I got a few more shotgun shells. I got a bumped up Yeti saddle, and then my final consumable that I was missing. But now we're all set. We're ready and set for this boss fight. Now, I do have a confession to make. This has all been pre-recorded, and I'm just recording my audio over it. So I know what's going to happen, even though I've been talking in present tense. A little smoke and mirrors for anybody who's made it this far into the video. But we will see why things can never be... You're never safe if you assume anything in Ark. Predicting that things are going to work the way that they're designed, or anything of that matter, okay? So I'm just going through one last time, making sure I've got every single level distributed that is accessible or near, close to happening. So we'll save that one. Okay, I might do another round here. Yes, another round. I have high hopes for that Spino. That was a nice little bonus. I also have high hopes for my Raptors. Carnos, not so much. Just because there's only two of them, they work together better in big groups because they have such a fast attack. Okay, everything's in order. Let's get it going. Everyone's staged appropriately as long as I remember the orientation and I'm not backwards. So technically when I spawn in, the way I'm facing is the way to where Kong sits up in his little temple area. But if I got it backwards, then we're all turned around and facing the trees. And yes, there is a specific orientation to each one of the obelisks on how you load in. And it looks like I got it right. Sweet, sweet. Okay, we got all those pumped into me. Yummy, yummy. Combat in the cold. Get auto courage going. Passive heal. Okay, looking good, looking good. Alright, let's take the fastest thing. because we're gonna need to get the attention and then quickly run back over here and jump on the stego. And we're off to the races. It's Hunter by a nose hair. Here we go. And let the charades begin. Everyone's glowing very, very beautifully. You're all, what do they call that? You're glowing, you're resonating. Yes, you are resonating golden glory holiness. And I will cut the recording of audio for this next portion. What a circus act, am I right? But hey, was that fun to watch? When things don't work the way they're intended or designed, I can't get this freaking jerk to aggro to me, so pulled out the old admin commands and this seemed to do the trick, but I just could not. I wasn't going to risk going in there into the arena with the saber and getting hit with poo. But this did the trick. So Kong's on his way, and we're about to get this fight started, get the show on the road, and of course, the first thing he does is throw his boulder, which does the most amount of damage. All right, I'm sitting pretty good back here. Holy, wholesome goodness! 1400. What the? Where are these damages? 1100? My goodness. I thought he only did that from a distance. Like, he just slaughtered my spine. I mean, with the mashup of what the? Okay, there goes the Yeti. I was expecting the Yeti to be the first to go, but yeah, it looks like he's looking at the mammoth now. Can't tell if the mammoth has done its damage reduction shout or not. Oh, there we go. Okay. I didn't get the buff though. Oh, never mind. It's against the enemy. Wow. Look at this, people. I guarantee my frogs are still alive. The Ankies are still alive. Oh, the mammoth is taking the beating. That's why. The rare flowers don't. Oh, there goes the mammoth. The rare flowers don't seem to be working the way I had hoped, because it looks like there's a few stragglers. Yeah. Those Ankies are getting beat up by some Gigantos. Okay, as long as it's focused on me. But hey, you know what? If I do say so myself. Now, mind you, people, don't forget this is on point with official setting, and what that means is none of these dinos have boosted stats from single player. Oh boy, here we go. Running and jumping and dodging and juking and jiving. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a King Kong, a boulder. Oh, I didn't dodge that. But now I got poop in my eyes. Well, we made the transfer successfully, And he's actually stuck in there trying to get to me, so that's working to my advantage. But shoot, it won't let me do my launch attack to get up there. Like, I need to get away from the jerkwad. If I had more shotgun shells, I guarantee you this would have gone down as a victory. But now we're on the biting game. My raptors are still in there. Carnos are still in there. Daedons, frogs. My frogs are still in there. This is wild, man. This is awesome. But yeah, to rewind a little bit, this is official, okay? All these are wild tames. Only my saber-tooths were imprinted coming in here. I didn't do any breeding. I didn't even do max level sniping, we'll call it. But combat in the cold with my consumables. I've got beer on standby. I've made one courageous leap to the next dino so far, and here comes another. Go, go, baby, go. Wow, man. Got a lot of health left on this. That mate boost really is, I mean, that makes quite the difference. It's like first blood, yeah. First blood's out for the count. And soon to be, so I got the beer going. This should give me the least, it gives you damage reduction, but I am running for the hills. I don't know who's all left at this point, but people are still kicking ass and taking names over there. And I'm running as far as I can until my stamina depletes. Hopefully I'm getting far enough away from every... Oh, no, we got some monkeys. So at this point, okay, this is where we see what the end result is, because obviously I would die at this point, but now we're gonna see. So I want to say I probably got him down to a third, so I got him 2/3 of the way. Here's my last dino. Fight until the end. Just like, gimme that. Take a bite out of you. And then after that, I emptied all my pistol shots. Here's the last clip for the pistol. Again, I saved you the hassle of, I mean, all of my timers are out. And land in the final blow. There we go. So had I brought in, we'll say 200 shotgun shells, because I did the admin command to give myself 100 shotgun shells. I already had 50 with me. So yeah, had I been doing shotgun damage the whole time, I guarantee we could have walked away with at least a sliver of health. And no, I'm not taking that stuff. I didn't earn it. But it's just to show you the graveyard. The Daedons fought to the last. And there's my baby. Oh, Hunter, you served me well. Well, you came, you saw day 1 to day 40. We didn't manage to do the boss fight, but you can see, had I gone through the whole breeding and raising process with some Carnos, even some Sarcos, we'll say, I could have managed that, because the shotgun is a make it or break it factor when it comes to boss fights, okay? shotgun, Yeti, and saddles are make it or break it determinant factors for any boss fight as it relates to the ones I played, which doesn't extend beyond Ragnarok, the Island, and Scorched Earth. So I think I've covered everything I wanted to throughout these 40 days on the island. And as I had mentioned before, I am leaning towards doing 40 days on Scorched Earth. One of my favorite things in Scorched Earth is getting started out as a level 1 and just embracing the elements and taking it all in one breath at a time. But last thing I'll do here before we head back to base is we'll go through and see who we lost in order. So Spino was the first, then the Anki, then the Aloe, then the Yudi, then the Mammoth, another Anki, then my Stego, then the 2 Carnos, finally the Raptors, then one of the Frogs, then one of the Sarcos, then the other Sarco, one of the Sabers, the other Frog, the other Saber, and last but not least, the 2 Daedons. Not too shabby. With a mashup of random tames, all wild tames. Only the Saber was imprinted, to the best of my knowledge, to the best of my recollection. But you saw it here first, people. You saw it here last. Thanks for tuning in. As one last treat to you all, I want to showcase the health stat on your character in terms of fall damage. So there are certain flyers that you can stand on once you dismount, and the Wyvern works, the Rhino works, and the Griffin works. Those are the 3 to my limited knowledge. But if you hover in place on those and dismount, you will not jump off. You will just stand on their back. So we're going to go up all the way to the barrier here. And one thing I like to do, if I make a claim about something, I like to put it out there as solid evidence as well. So we're just going to mark ODST here to see how high up we are. So 600, ooh, that's a little spooky. 666. So we'll say it's like 700 to the water level. So I'm at full health, 450 hit points. The maximum amount of fall damage your character can take is 430 points of damage. So we'll see it firsthand. Boom. Broken every bone in my body, but I'm still alive. And maybe it was 440 points of damage. But I am testing something here because I want to know how... Because surviving the fall is one thing, but then if you fall down into danger, you need to be able to sprint. So I want to assume that like 25, and maybe it's a percentage, maybe it's not a number, but I have my sprint active right now, and so far I'm not able to move quickly. And you can land. Okay, so I'm sprinting 33 hit points, so we'll say 480 is what you want if you want to be able to sprint after a deadly fall to outrun any danger. But once again, I appreciate the views, I appreciate the subs, I appreciate the likes, I appreciate the comments. Much appreciated. Catch you at the next 40-day challenge. Peace out.